Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Diaside, and in this video it's all about the best Splitgate Takedown tips and ranked gameplay to back it all up. To be more precise, we're going to go over not just the topics on how to improve your game within Takedown, aka Splitgate Takedown, but also specific examples showing you step by step breaking it down, including topics on the open engagement, the power control, the chase or not to chase, rotations, area control, and so much more. The only thing left to do is just to simply sit back, relax, make sure that you grab that Mountain Dew and maybe a little popcorn, eviscerate that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump right into the video. Now before we go into the examples demonstrating all those topics that I just discussed, what I want you to understand first is the whole principles behind Takedown. Understand that Takedown is moving rapidly and it's always fluid, meaning that it's going to change from one engagement to the next in a rapid manner. And this then means that you have to have an APM, an actions per minute, that's faster than your typical player. To help these actions not just be fast, but also fluid in a manner that's going to help you and your entire team, I got several examples for you that's going to really break this down, including our first one called the opening engagement, and followed by a second one that's actually very correlated to the first, and that is power control. So as you guys can see from right here, I'm starting at the very beginning of the round on Simulation Golf, trying to attack towards the cube. I see a guy probably going for that sniper rifle, so what do? I go up there and then I get demolished by that guy like, oh my gosh. Okay, so not trying to repeat the same mistake twice. When I do the second time around, as you can see from right here at the very beginning of the next round, I attack from a completely different angle of attack that's going towards the very top of the bridge, but from the left-hand side, and that's then going to allow me to catch this guy completely off guard, not just get him, but also then pick up the sniper. Now, I'm not going to replay this example because there's one thing that I really want you to take away from this, and that is to always attack from different angles if the first angle isn't going to work. When I went and attacked the first time around, I tried to go from a different perspective that he wasn't expecting, but in reality, he already was. So the second time around, you gotta try and change things up, because if you do the same thing over and over again, getting the same result, that's the definition of insanity. You don't want that, I don't want that, nobody wants that. So do what I did, try something different, attack from a different angle of perspective that he isn't expecting, and bada bing bada boom, you got success on hand. And taking one teeny tiny step back, you also realize in that very first example that I just showed you, what was I trying to do? Gain the power control, and that was a sniper rifle on golf. But on this next example that we're going to show right here, this is Simulation Charlie, and once again, power control is essential because as you guys can tell from right here, what do? I attack the map control, aka the power control, then get the sniper, get not just one, but potentially two players and almost a third, all because I happen to have a sniper. What's important for you to understand about this is that sometimes it's going to go exactly your way, just the way that you guys just saw. I got the sniper rifle, no problem, piece of cake, and I was able to help the rest of my team throughout the entire round by giving us the advantage in trying to hunt them down next. And in some cases, it might go down this way, it might not. And if you happen to find some people there at the very top of the sniper, then challenge them. If you don't challenge and try to get the power weapons at the very beginning of the match, the enemy team's going to get them instantaneously and it's going to give them a huge advantage. The whole point that I'm making is to always go for the power weapon at the very beginning of the match, because that's going to help you and your entire team absolutely annihilate, decimate, and eradicate every single enemy player with that little cherry on top and of course some sprinkles, making it oh so delicious and sweet and very gratifying. In understanding this, the next topic that I want to correlate very heavily to this is actually whether or not to chase or not to chase. In many cases, you might happen to find yourself weak in this engagement or that engagement, and you also might happen to find enemy players weak in this engagement or that engagement just the same. How do you know when to attack and how do you know when to flee? That's very difficult to comprehend, and it's also very heavily correlated into getting that power control in the last example that I just showed you. To get a better sense of when to actually do this or not to do this, the next example that I want to show you is doing precisely this, both cases, chasing and not chasing all in the same thing. In this example, we find ourselves on Simulation Bravo at the very beginning of the round. So what do? I try and get the map control at the very top of the map. I see a guy there hopefully on my right, there he is. I go and teleport from behind him, happen to get this guy no problem. See the next guy on my left and like, okay, do I chase him, do I not, what's going on? I'm full health, so I definitely chase him down. I finish him off, but now on the definition of one shot, I know a guy's chasing me, so what do? I try and fake him out going from the right to left, and there you go. Now I've given myself enough time to heal, and then be able to go into the next engagement, gain that final player who is then chasing me. Now I'm going to rewind this example one more time because it's very important here to understand. The first couple of engagements, I made a great flank, and then I was able to get the first guy, chase down the second guy because I had my entire health, and so I was more than safe to go ahead and chase this guy down if he happened to have a little damage here or there and finish him off. In the process of doing so, I did that, but at the same time, I then got shot from the left and became the definition of absolute one-shot. However, what happened? that guy tried to chase me down, and so instead of trying to challenge him when I one-shot, I gotta give myself time to get enough health while he's chasing me down, then I can go ahead and re-engage him after he's chased me down and I've regained my health, and that's exactly what I did. Those two takeaways right there are absolutely essential to master if you want to be able to chase someone or not. It's like playing the typical cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry. We all love that cartoon, I mean come on, who doesn't? And so this example that I just showed you is exactly this. Cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry over and over and over again. Now what you might or might not have picked up on that very last engagement there is that I did a fantastic portal doing what I like to call a loop effect, and this is actually in reference to doing something over and over again, which is rotations. I can't tell you how many times that in this game specifically, rotations aka portaling all over the place, left, right, up, down, anywhere that you can possibly imagine, is essential to master and also do it in a rapid manner. Remember, every split second that you do counts, and so you have to make every one of those split seconds count just the same. So in rotating, this next example is all about that, rotations. As you all can see from right here, I'm not going to really commentate onto it too much, because it's actually quite a long clip in that it's a minute long, but the key takeaway from this is that I'm portaling in sections. What do I mean by this? I'm going from the bottom of the map to the spawn, to the top of the map, to the other spawn, to the bottom of the map, to the spawn, and so on and so forth. The cycle repeats. The whole idea behind this is to be able to portal in a way that you're going to catch somebody either on their spawn and then you can take them out very, very easily, or you can meet one of your teammates who's already in engagement, either help them out, or if you can't quite get there in time to help them out and they die, you can get the cleanup and thus help your entire team once again. I am literally doing exactly what I just described to you over and over and over again. And the other thing to take away is that this is a very, very methodical process. It's not hard to understand or grasp, and so when you're doing it, muscle memory is going to easily take into account and help you make these actions much, much faster. I know I've already said this a couple of times, but every split second counts, and when you don't have to think about what you're doing in the game, that allows you to then make a better reaction time for this player or that player, get the first shot, and thus get the entire engagement, not just helping yourself up at the team, and that's what this game's all about. Now the very last example that I've got for you is one that I like to actually consider to be area control. What is area control? Well, it's not the same as map control because in reality, the main difference is that you're trying to only control a certain section of the map. Maybe it's the actual map control, maybe it's not. The whole point is to have an area of control that you're controlling just by yourself or rather with your team, and thus it's making an impenetrable force field where the enemy team, if they enter, is going to get obliterated by Exodia and sends the Shadow Realm. Adios, ciao, bye-bye. As you guys can see from this example right here, I see a guy come through the portal, I happen to get him. Where are all my teammates and I? You guessed it, at the bottom of the map on Simulation Alpha. This is where the SMG spawns, and so we're trying to get that as much as possible. As we get these team shots here and there, I got a couple of kills, I see these two guys, unfortunately I couldn't get them and they get me instead, but as soon as I spawn up, what do I do next? You're going to see that once I do, I go directly back to that same exact place. I go underneath the map on Alpha, get a couple of plays, get some shots, get this guy, get that guy. Again, team shots is essential, and once again, the map control, or rather in this case, the area control, is exactly what you want to do. Now once again, I'm not going to rewind this, but the key takeaway from this is to make sure that you're always going back to that same spot, even if you die, so that you can help out your teammates and get those wonderful team shots. Again, the whole principle behind this is to have that one area so that it's an impenetrable force field. No one can go in there, not even Superman, because if they do, you got that kryptonite and Superman isn't going to stand a chance. In seeing all these examples, I think that you guys now get a very firm understanding of how to play Splitgate, specifically within ranked gameplay. Remember, all these examples that you guys just saw was in ranked gameplay, and so it's covering things like opening engagements, the power control, the chase or not to chase, rotations, and area control, all within one video. Now by all means, if you happen to have a different tip or tactic that you guys use, then let me know down in the comment section below, as I'm always open to improving my game just the same way that you're open to improving your game, and so who knows, maybe I can make a video on that topic just as well, and so if that's the case, then once again, you always know that I'm going to respect your opinions, and that is something that I can guarantee. That's pretty much all I've got for you as of right now, Diaslayers, and so as always, GG, TNT.